All right. Should be able to see my screen better now. All right, let's get the Discord going. Okay, can everyone hear me again? Can everyone hear me again? You guys are gonna laugh at me here in a second. Sorry. All right. Let me just get this YouTube back up. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, that was a bit of a buzzkill. All right. I literally just knocked over my computer. My microphone cable was twisted around it in the most warm and embracing hug. And when I went and moved my chair, it completely crashed, like knocked over my computer tower and shut off my computer. So that's a new one. I've not done that one before, but we're back. We're alive. Good thing it happened after a trade, not before. That would have been chaos, but fine. We're set back up here. Yeah, it'd be fine. Computer's fine. Oh yeah, 100%, Mike. That would have been stressful. All right, sorry about that, guys. Just human error on that one. Oh yeah, made my own life difficult crashing it over. I got stopped out, moved to go check my order, slammed my computer into the ground. Good times. All right, so we're looking now potentially for a little upside rip. It did give me a breakout through the opening range. Again, we'd be looking for something like this, right? Give or take. But I did lose on that first trade, down $320. Well, let's see if something else maybe shapes up for us here. Again, we want to see a little fake out from bulls. Failure from bears first, and then we should be able to have some joy. Yeah, a little bit of chaos to start the morning makes you feel alive. Let's see how it creeps up from there. And yeah, the Zoom link, right, is just right above the live trading channel. So again, everyone has access to that. If you're having tech issues with Discord, you use Zoom. If you're having issues with Zoom, use YouTube. You got so many options here, guys, that it should not ever be a bottleneck or a concern. If you have a tech issue on one, use the other, right? There's so many resources available to you. Please take advantage of them. If all three are down, then likely it's a me problem. But everything else, right, is a you problem. So fix it, please. And keep your variables tight. Yeah, the pending home sales, I'm not super worried about, Earl. It's not, yeah, it's not something I'm too bothered by here this morning. So we'll see. Again, we're still looking for a possible little breakout scenario here. You'd be looking at a 297 stop loss for now. We want to see some sort of bearish failure first. But everyone should be back, right? Everyone should be back. Sorry about that, team. All right, looks like we're probably gonna miss it here on the 2-min. Maybe we're looking for the 3-min here, right? This will still be our confirmation. This candle doesn't invalidate it, so we're still just looking for an entry here higher. Question is, can we get the justifiable risk reward? So stop would be 306. It'd be a long this time. I don't know if I have a reference price here yet. Maybe reference price would just be the body of the candle. So something like that. So about that 310, 311 area gives me 5 points of risk. Oh, we're watching here now, guys. No question zone, please. Let's see if we can get a pull back into our area here. Stop loss is 306. And we should theoretically be, 4 or 5 points away from being green. So no need to be greedy here, right? No need to panic. No need to do anything stupid. Control the variables you can control and you'll be just fine. Okay, I'll keep watching this on the 3. Okay, watching here very carefully. Okay, guys, I am in average price 309. Stop loss 306. So very, very tight here. A little bit too tight. Took the stop. $200 loss. Potentially try this again. Time to be a stop loss 304.50. Was the right idea. So call it 304 stop. And at this point, we'll wait that extra 30 seconds for the news to drop. A little bit unlucky. Stopped up, I think half a tick or half a point, sorry. And then it goes, no big deal. We'll look at this on the 2-min, targeting 26.4 potentially here. That's mean. Okay, so we're targeting 23.4. Quite far up. Okay, again, let's see if we can find some support here. You're looking at a 317 stop loss for now. And a nasty little shakeout that we got dealt with. Reference price here would be 320. Still got to give it a little bit of time, but I want to give you guys just a perception here of what I'm looking at. So stop here would be 316. And again, let's see if we can get a nice little tight risk reward. Okay, stops can be a little bit lower. Keeps bouncing really well, so I'm confident in this idea. It's just about getting the right entry here. So watching stop loss would be 314. All right, guys, I am in average price 317.75. 317.75. Stop loss 316. So very, very tight. Love that. And let's see if this thing can pop and blow up. That's all we needed there to have a green day, right? So really good risk management here so far. And let's see if this thing's got a bit more oomph left to it. Feels a little bit like deja vu. I got stopped out again on that. A little bit freaking fake outs. How did I get stopped out at that? Did not clear under 314. That's really annoying. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time. See if this is the fake out. Could be. Okay, guys. So I am back in 314.75. 314.75. Stop loss at 313. And I just got stopped out again. Just taking $100 losses here. Okay, so I'm down 760 here so far this morning, and this is definitely not the reaction I want to fall in love with. So we're going to reset. We're not going to get sticky on this. I don't think I should have gotten stopped out on that first go round. I got stopped out at 316 when I should have been stopped out at 314. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. We'll look into that later. For now, not the thing to lose sleep over. And like I said, minus 760 on the morning so far. Today's the 29th. All right, let's see here. Yeah, like we're 10 points away from being green, guys. So we've done a very good job here of managing our risk. Got a potential reversal scenario here coming up. So let's see if we can get something. But no big deal yet, right? No big deal. All right, so we've got set up here to the downside. We're going to be targeting bottom of that 2R range. So it would look like something like this. Again, let's see that bullish failure first. Every now and then, this fib tool is so finicky. Really, really annoying. Let's see where it settles in here. Okay, so for now, we're looking at a 294 stop loss on the short. Call it 295 actually, just to round up. And I would probably do something like this as my reference price, so that 288 area or so. So let's pay attention as it pulls into that blue line, right? To make sure it's not a flush through or a flush above, sorry. You want it basically to be creeping in there as gently as it can. I feel like we've been stuck waiting for a couple like 5-point entry zones that are sneaky slow getting there. Okay, so watching here very carefully. No question zone, please. And no entry there. Didn't quite pull into my blue line or better. It's fine, right? We can just try this on the 2-min time frame. Same concept, right? Same idea. We're just looking for a tight risk reward ratio. It is rejecting well off of that 280. So stop loss here would be 281. And watching here carefully. Again, watch for the little fake out first. If it fakes out, then we can watch for the rejection. That's a decent looking rejection. That would push stop loss to 282. Okay, guys, I am in 278.75 short. Don't like that reaction. Got a flush here. I feel like my entries have been a little bit sticky. Like price isn't moving as nicely as I'd like post entry. And yeah, I took a little stop there, minus 260 on that. That seems the theme here. It's taking little baby stop losses, really annoying ones. This might be the fake out here now. So that'd be a stop loss of 289, 290. Ugh. Fighting this one a little bit. Again, we'll watch this carefully. We've done a really good job keeping them small, right? Like that trade, I had just a couple points of risk. Just keeping this manageable, but it is getting a little bit frustrating. All right, so watching here again carefully. Like a 293 stop loss. All right, guys, I'm in 288.75, 293 stop. 5 contracts. Immediately kind of bouncy. I don't seem to get the flush I want on anything. Really annoying. Okay, let's see if this is it. There it is, guys. There it is. All right, so now the focus is on closing as P&L is increasing, right? Focus as P&L is increasing. Ooh, don't like that at all. Yeah, one more flush lower here. Come on. Here it comes. Here it comes. Watch, watch, guys. So find your exit here, right? Find your exit here, please. Focus up for it. This is going to be it. Come on, give me one more flush. Ah, your mother. So I am out of this trade, guys. I am out of this trade. Exit price 283. Exit price 283. Made back a little bit, not as much as I should have probably, but it was a good decision and a good trade. Again, kind of gave us that flush a little bit faster than we expected, and then it stalled instantly. That's a little bit annoying, but nice little make back there. Let's go, Nick. Congratulations. And again, right, that's the whole value of keeping our losses small, right? We're always one good decision away. Okay, maybe I need 2 decisions here because I didn't close as well as I could have. But a good trade here so far, or good trade there, sorry. Let's go. Nice work, Leia. Good job, guys. Good job. So that puts me now at minus 360 on the day. And let's see if something else sets up. But yeah, I for sure should have taken my profit a little bit better there. I did not take it as well as I could have. I think that's a little bit of a that's a little bit of a slap yourself in the face moment. So I was up, I don't know, 1,700 on that, 1,800 on that. So to only finish up a couple $100 and to give away the vast majority of that move, a little bit disappointing. But fine, still a good trade, still a good process, all things considered. All right, I'm going to go fill up the cup of coffee, get that next leg of energy here. So just bear with me, guys. Be back in a minute. All right, so couple of words of advice here, I guess, or words of wisdom. Let me take that with a grain of salt. If you're green on the day, guys, take it and run, right? Don't force anything else here. Don't rush anything. Don't overtrade it. If you're green, You're like 1 for 4 and you're positive. That is an incredible proof of concept. That is actually really strong trading, all things considered. So take it and run. Go enjoy your morning. Go do whatever. Go grab a cup of coffee. Go do your laundry. You don't need to spend any more money, right? Chasing it. Green days are going to compound a lot faster than turning your $600 day or $800 day or $1,000 day into a $2,000 day. So control your variables, right? Make sure you're finishing the day in the green if you are. And if something sets up, we'll look to trade it. If something doesn't set up, well, I'll have to eat it and not be able to keep the streak going. But we'll see. So if you're green, take it and run. Go enjoy your morning. You've earned it. Don't trick yourself into now doing something stupid. Your risk, Kellen, should have never been more than like a total of like $1,000 across all the trades we took. I would recommend reviewing the risk modules and setting it up there. A little bit unlucky here so far this morning, I would say. Well, I would hope that you're less than 2 trades away. I mean, it's definitely the right perspective, right? We're never going to be correct on 100% of our decisions. But the number, right, is kind of unique to you. So, like 800 for one person, right, is not the same feeling as 800 for another. So, that really is more a personal question that I can answer. I'm sitting down about 300 ish, give or take. I appreciate that. I have a weird, kind of a weird morning. Yeah, I don't know, was it 2 weeks ago or whatever it was? I closed my Top Step accounts. Yeah, there might even be more trades today. Just the slippage was starting to get annoying on Top Step. I was constantly getting worse stop losses or worse exit prices than I was on my other accounts. So it became fully payout eligible. I'll just take my money. And top step quotes are not ahead of trading view. It's the same data feed, guys, right? So it's not going to be ahead. I use a combination of a bunch. So I've got a couple Tradeify accounts, a couple My Funded Futures accounts, and a couple Take Profit Trader accounts. So potentially still trying to find a entry here, maybe on like this reversal signal. I mean, this theoretically could be a trade. Be a little bit aggressive. Keep your sizing small and focus, Derek, on closing as P&L is increasing. That's the only way to build up the buffer. You gotta just stack up those $500, $600, $700, $800 wins and not let those turn into $200 wins pretty much. So yeah, the only way to really build up that buffer or to overcome it is to basically not be greedy with your trades. Embrace the concept of getting over that with 10 decisions, not 2 decisions. And then if it happens in 2, sweet, you're excited. If it happens in 10, you did it exactly as you expected. And there's no extra emotional baggage. I'm a little bit disappointed in how I traded today, though, to be honest. Just a little bit sloppy. All right, let's see if the market wants to give us something. Maybe here we open up a little bit of a window once this crude oil inventories data drops, right? That happens in 3 minutes. We've kind of been stuck, let's say, between like 260 and 300. I'd like to see a little bit of separation here. That's what I'm cheering for. CL, I can't trade this yet. We're not asking for too much here. It does feel like the market's waiting. Now, hopeful that it's not just waiting for FOMC, but who knows? Just depends on the data, Renee. So most data, intraday data will drop at 10 a.m. Or 10 a.m. Eastern. Crude oil inventories, because it's a different asset class, right? It's commodities. It's not stocks or futures. Their release schedule is a little bit different. So once a week that happens at 10:30, and then FOMC always occurs at 2 p.m. Your best bet would be to check like an economic calendar for sort of a daily schedule. We post that up, or we check it every single morning before the stream starts. Yeah, we've got crude oil inventories dropping in 30 seconds or whatever, or in a minute. So this has the opportunity to potentially create a little bit of volatility. So let's see if that ends up happening. I don't think I'd want to take the trade before that. Anyway, I mean, I don't have anything setting up, so would it make a difference even if I wanted to take something? But it is kind of like building a little bit of a base of consolidation. I would be, maybe expect a little bit of a move still left here today. Excuse me. I'm like trying to drown myself with coffee today. It's not good. Keeps going down the wrong pipe. Let's see how CL moved. Nice little breakout. Yeah, pretty much. Now, one of these days, we'll get back to outlier volume here, hopefully. I don't really have any other outlier bars, so I can't even look backwards really for a confirmation. This is too far, I reckon, at this point. We've had so many kind of like little failed moves above. Hard to trust it. Oh man, it's snowing so hard. What the hell? Why do you have to torture me, weatherman? We might be breaking out of that range here a little bit. Let's see. Right, 300 is the level here we need to close over. She didn't on the 2 min, potentially on the 3 min. Again, that's not going to be enough volume here unless something happens. How's Zoom looking? Zoom okay? No issues. All right, beautiful. Yeah, not enough volume there. Not a strong enough candle shape either. Maybe we have a chance on this candle here to go increasing outlier. We'll keep an eye on that. There's your CL data, right? There's the drop. So good amount of oomph. Fuck me. So sitting down like $240-ish, I reckon, something like that. About right. So very much still one trade away. So the reality here, right, is that I'm trying to control the quality of my decisions. It's a little bit better to be like too disciplined and finish down, let's say $300 or $200 or whatever it is, than to be too loose in the pursuit of hoping that I make $200 and then finish down 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. It's got to be absolutely perfect here if I'm going to be interested. Or, I mean, maybe perfect's not the right word. No trade is ever perfect. It needs to behave as expected, or it's got to give me some sort of confidence that I have a clear path higher or lower. So far, all the setups that we've taken, they've kind of they've stalled a little bit at entry, given us like a baby move or a baby breakout or a baby whatever, and then they reverse. So we've tried trades in both direction, and we've not necessarily gotten onto the side of least resistance, or not necessarily caught the path of least resistance. We'd like to see that narrative, effectively support our thesis, right? Because it's a frustrating trade to be up 10 points and then it pulls back and you got to close up 3. It sort of makes you feel like shit, right? For lack of a better term. So let's see if we can find something. So still not going to be enough volume here. Come on, volume, show your ugly face. This is suspiciously light or suspiciously quiet. Can't do anything with that. Ooh, maybe. Oh, it's been a while, CL. It's been a while. How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling okay? Good. Love to hear that. That's a great response, James. You're feeling stressed out, get the poison out of your system, right? And journaling's the easiest way to do that, at least as a trader. Cool. Hey, you forget stuff after the trading day. You will remember a lot more and notice much stronger patterns, probably the better way of describing it, if you journal while you're trading. It does make a very significant difference. Okay, so we might have a chance here at a little crude oil setup targeting 61. So it look like that for now. I would want to see a little fake out here first, realistically. So reference price would be like here-ish, right? My confirmation candle high. Excuse me. I might not get one. But meanwhile, NQ starting to crack. This might have an opportunity here for an outlier volume bar. Gosh, I would kill for that. That'd be really nice. CL, I'm struggling with a little bit. Not necessarily because I don't believe the thesis, but the price feels too herky-jerky with how it's moving. That I'm not super confident in it. And maybe that is just a me problem. Like I guess what I mean by the herky jerky is that everything is both directions price looks the same, right? So like it's hard for me to decipher between the speed of strong bulls or the weakness of strong bulls or whatever. And that's slowing me down just a little bit. You know, this might be an opportunity where we get a bit of a fake out here. And that would change things a bit. But ideally, I'm still looking for my mistress NQ to show me some love here. I've bought tickets, you know, I've paid for reservations. I got a fancy hotel room. Time to have a good time. Problem is just volume, right? That's the ingredient we're missing. Be close on this candle. It'll be real close. We're looking for this volume to get above that white line. It should. If it doesn't, it would be a huge letdown. That's what we've been waiting for. Fine close. Closed right at 280. Perfect. All right, so we're set up like something like this. 281 would be the stop loss. Let's see if it fakes out first. Well, let it establish that fake out here, guys, right? See bulls fail in their attempt to reclaim control. We should also get increasing outlier volume on the 3. So if I don't get an entry here on this 2-min, no big deal. Okay, so watch here if we get that little fake out. Okay, this is possibly it. That was a weird sound. Sorry. That happened because that volume is showing me increasing outlier, right? So I can't trade this as a fake out scenario if I'm bigger volume than my confirmation candle. So that horrific noise you made was not me getting stabbed. It was me fighting back against wanting to trade it to the downside. So now our bias has flipped, right? We've got a reversal signal here inside our opening range. And so we'd set up something like this here all of a sudden. Now, because we haven't made a higher high, we'd like to see a little fake out under this candle's low. So there it is. And let's see if it bounces back up basically above 272. So stop loss here would be 269 on this long. 269. Reference price here. I mean, 2 points is too tight. So it'd be something like that. So watching here carefully, guys, for a gentle pullback. Let's see if we can get one. Okay, I am in, guys. I am in. Average price 272. 5 contracts, stop loss 269. Got a bounce here. Okay, guys, I've closed. I don't like this initial reaction here. I don't like this initial reaction. I feel early. So I have closed this trade. I will try this again, potentially. But I felt early on that. So I'm going to try this again. See if I can get a tighter risk reward ratio potentially, or just a better early reaction to my entry. I don't like the feeling of it stalling around there. But that effectively puts me to just about break even on the day. But I felt early. I felt early on that entry. So I'm going to listen to that sensation. I'm going to get out and see if this thing will behave properly for me here again. I think it was the right decision. I think that would have just stopped me out there. Yep. Good decision, guys. Trust your gut, right? Train your gut, trust your gut. And now we're looking again for still that possible fake out entry, but just felt early on that thesis. So stop loss here now would be 266. Keep the math simple. We will try this again potentially. Reference price on this would be like 270-ish. All right, so again, let's focus up here. A little bit too fast, I think, so far. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this. This is setting up to the downside here now. Red to green. Sorry, green to red reversal. All right. Focus, focus, focus. I know our bias is flipping a lot here, so bear with me, guys. This is a good spot to be. Okay. We definitely made the right call on that exit. I'm actually really proud of that. And don't allow those fast moves to trick you. If it sets up, we'll get an opportunity here, guys, on these longer time frames. Don't worry. Nope. Don't put any extra pressure on yourself. It's going to be okay. This thing's fucking temperamental. Oh, worse than me. All right, still interested. That's a fine enough candle. Closed under previous low a day. Question is just where do we find support, right? So we're gonna let this thing breathe. Okay, let's see if this is the fake out spot here, right? Where it fakes out above our confirmation candle high. Would be something like that. And this is where we expect bears to defend here now, right? If they're strong in this thesis, they're going to defend this with everything they've got. So stop loss would be 283. We got that set up here. 283. Short. Mean. I think trading's the only game in the world where you can figure out exactly what the market is going to do, or you have a plan for what the market is going to do, and then it just misses a detail by like a very, very minor amount, and you gotta have the discipline to stay out. Not easy. I'd rather the 3-min signal than the 2. At least for now. Got a little bit of I don't know, maybe like a boxer in me here today. Willing to go 7 rounds with the market. 7 very short rounds, but 7 rounds nonetheless. Did I do this? A 270 stop loss? That would be super aggressive. I think too aggressive. I'm going to keep it still at that 283. Yeah, this is a very tight entry zone here as well, right? So let it breathe, right? Give yourself an extra second to make that decision. It's going to make you, because the entry zone is tight, it's going to make you want to feel as if you need to rush it. That is not the reality, right? Fight back against it. And playing for these really tight stop losses in choppy markets is what keeps you alive, right? It actually makes it easier for you to be green. Because in these scenarios, if you're not green right away, you're probably dead. Could we do a 274 now? It did give us a little bit of that fake. It'd be 275 as a stop. I'd want like 270-ish as an entry. Okay, so watching here, guys. 275 would be the stop loss. Give yourself a second here. Okay, guys, I am in entry price 271. 271, stop loss 275. Let's go. Let's see if this thing can flush here. There's 500. again, if this bouncy. There it goes. So focus on P&L, right, as it's increasing. And bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. There it goes. So watching here, guys, watching very carefully. It's not holding any of those key levels. So annoying. What? All right. Fight your greed here, Michael. Don't be a dumbass. All right, guys, I am out. Exit price 263.75, 263.75. Let's go, Eric. Nice work. Now I feel like an idiot, but that's okay. Let's go, Joel. Nice work, Chris. Good job, guys. Yeah, really good job, right? You've done a fantastic effort managing our risk here today so that it's easy for us to be green, right? That's what we're playing always. We're trying to make future Michael, future John, future Eric, future Chris's, right? Future Mike's job easy. We did a good job there. Right? So well done, team. That does also put me a little bit green on the day, but I'm so paranoid of this move, right? Exactly what is happening here. I'm so scared of that for some reason. I mean, justifiably, I think. But kind of just some like, I don't know, wacky BSPA. It's still in business here. I think the other thing that's bothering me just a little bit here is the difference between the time frames. 2 minutes telling me a reversal to the upside, 3 minutes telling me breakdown to the downside, 5 minutes telling me reversal to the upside, 10 minutes telling me indecision, 15 minutes telling me fake out. So every time frame has a different story. I think that contributes to the nervousness a little bit, or the anxiety maybe a little bit that I felt in that position, where it doesn't feel like I maybe have as consistent of a narrative as I would like. Sounds good, James. Enjoy your day. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I just said. No? Nice, Dave. Congratulations. And I guess this isn't a monster day for me by any means, right? Up like $500, nothing crazy. Hey, nice work, Kyle. Go enjoy it, man. Well done. And you know what? Every gut feeling I've had here today, for better or for worse, has been correct. Like I haven't maybe top ticked it or bottom ticked every move, but I would have been stopped out eventually out of every single one that I have felt kind of funky about. That's an important thing to note down in the journal, right? I can trust my gut feeling, or it's behaving how I expect it. It's kind of being sharp here to a certain extent. And so I keep building up evidence, right, that I need to listen to it. I'm going to keep doing that. Now, that doesn't mean I'm overriding my system, right, to just trade gut feeling. That is not the case. But I'm listening to what the market is making me feel like once I'm in a position. And if I feel those stressors or anxiety, means I'm probably missing something and I want to get out. Yeah, Dave, don't think that way. That's a dumb thought. Market doesn't owe you any money. So don't trade with that expectation. Oh, I should have been up $500 today, or I should have been whatever. You're just going to torture yourself with hypotheticals and then chase that number, and it won't happen for you. Okay, so we're looking at now a 261 stop loss, maybe lower. Okay, there's our little fake out potentially. This would be a 257.50. 257, now lower still. That closed as a fake out. We'll be looking at a 256 stop loss on a long for now. 256. Reference price about 260-ish, we'll call it. Okay, a little bit too fast. So let's focus up here. Okay, stop would be 255. I'll call it 254. And so far, no elevator bounce. There's kind of one. All right, watching carefully here. Hey guys, I am in average price 259.75. 259.75. Stop at 254, and I got 5 contracts. Let's see if this thing can go. Another pain in the ass one. All right. All right, guys, I'm out. Exit price 263. Exit price 263. Did not like that reaction. Again, maybe the wrong impulse there. I'll take it. I'll keep stacking up those little baby wins if I have to. No big deal. An extra $400, right? So stacking up into a nice day here all of a sudden. Oh, not an easy day. That's all right. We're stacking them up here, slow and steady. No dumb decisions. Easier said than done. We'll see if we can set this move up again here potentially. And I'll be honest with you guys, maybe that shouldn't have been a trade that we missed, right? It wasn't like a super fast setup. It was reasonably paced. Could I do something like that? I think I'd probably still maintain that 254 stop loss. Okay, now maybe I could do this. Now you'd be looking at a 257. Nah, it's too aggressive. Still going to maintain that 254. Give it a second here. All right, guys, I am in average price 258.25. 258.25. That's stalling. Got to bounce. Still don't like it. All right, guys, I've closed this trade 260 on the dot. Exit price 260. Yeah, I felt early on that. I will be willing to try it again, but I felt early. Again, if my trade isn't green right away and gives me separation right away, I should be asking what else am I wrong about? And again, right, another good gut feel. Yeah, if it doesn't behave exactly how we expect, we cannot fall in love with it. It's not even that it's on fire, Eric, right? It's that my rule, right, is if it doesn't feel right or if I'm early on the trade, I got to get out, right? Because my best trades, I'm consistently green right away and it moves in my direction pretty much right away. If it stalls and it doesn't necessarily behave how I expect, then what else am I wrong about, right? So I just need to get out, get impartial. Well, I trade my setups, Scott, right? To be honest with you, Jay Scott, like I'll trade whatever setup is available to me and is out there, but it gives me the extra conviction, right? That I should be looking to be wrong early, right? If I'm not correct right away, like we just talked about, I should be out. So the choppier the backdrop, the choppier the story, the more you want to basically reinforce that belief. So that's really all it is. Like my job isn't to pick and choose my setups or to like try to galaxy brain my way to being smarter than this setup or smarter than that setup. I'm here to just trade each one as best as I can and then to use the extra information that the market gives me to build some sort of confidence or context, right? That my thesis is correct. So using then my gut feel or my intuition or my experience, whatever you want to call it, allows me to then basically create an execution edge within that context. So I'm not here to be smarter than my system and to talk myself out of trades or into extra ones, but I can use the context of how the market has been behaving to improve my execution edge or to improve my margin of error. And I think that's really all we've done here so far today. Again, and it's all about well, for sure. I mean, if everything's telling you the same story, you're setting up a trend day or you're setting up that type of environment. But we knew that that wasn't going to be the case with FOMC, so it's not a surprise, right? We knew today was going to be more of a positioning day than a trend day, and that's exactly how it's been behaving. So again, we just trade every setup independently. We remove as much baggage as we can from each decision, and then we get a little bit better and we focus on our psychology and we maintain those elements with as much control as we can. And we put ourselves in situations where it's easy to make good trades. So maybe we have a chance here for a reversal setup. Now to the upsides, decreasing volume on the 2, so that's a no-go. It'd have to be on the 3 or the 5. Either one of those could happen. I'd say the 3 min, probably more likely. Yeah, good day here. Again, it could be a little bit better, but I'm actually pretty happy with how I've traded in the latter decisions. I think they've been really strong. Okay, let's see how this candle closes. It's an okay shape. That's normal body bullish. That's okay. Ideally, we see a fake out here under low of day. So let's see. Again, guys, if you're green on the day here and you're feeling good, well, enjoy the rest of your morning, right? Be proactive. You don't need to push like crazy to turn a small green day into a big green day, right? Learn how to control your dopamine, build up your tolerance to it, and you'll build up more of your ability to control your dopamine the more green days that you stack up. So protecting yourself from yourself here today will make it easier for you to have that big, long trading day when we do get that trend day, right? Or we do get that right environment. And if you're small red, same thing applies, right? If you're big red, same thing applies. If you're big green, same thing applies. Let green days turn into green weeks, green months to turn into green years, and then green years into FUs to your boss. But that won't happen, right? If we have good green days, small red days, and we try to make them worse. That makes sense? Yeah, Kellen, if you feel like you need to do that, do it, right? I can't speak for your specific situation. This is a scenario where you need to be selfish and do what you think is best for you and your account. And generally, what feels best in the moment is not best for you long term. That goes for everyone. right? As much as trading is about learning how to trade a technical setup or a technical element, the biggest thing that you can learn in trading is how to control yourself, right? Learn your behaviors, learn your tilt triggers, learn the things that set you off edge, and make incredibly proactive decisions to protect yourself from the worst variant of yourself. That's your objective more than anything else. So sometimes the most important thing you can learn is when to walk away. Maybe it's not the decisions, amount of decisions, Kellen. It's how you're trading them that is costing you your money. So what could you have done better, right, to improve the way that you're managing risk to not get to that point where you're forced to walk away? Right, because none of the losses that we have taken here today have been particularly large. I think my largest loss has been $300 with like 4 contracts or something like that. So we're keeping our risk exceptionally tight. So if you overdrew yourself, that sounds like a risk management problem, not a quantity of decisions problem. So here we'd be looking at a 253 stop loss, right, on this reversal thesis. Reference price, we'll call it 256, 257. I might not be getting it. Mean. And we're not going to chase it. We're just let it set up again. I mean, this 5-min has a chance as well. It's got that little fake out already baked in. Maybe not. 10-min could be in play here as well. We don't trade the 10-min too often, but it could be. Okay, so let's see if this is the little fake out. Reference price here would be 267. Fake out here would be, or stop loss price would be 265. Again, let's see if it fakes out here. 264 now. 263 actually. Lower. Okay, we'll keep waiting. Now it'd be 261. All right, so let's see if we can get a gentle pullback here. Didn't get a fill. A little bit reasonable. All right. So I'm in, guys. 265 entry. Stop loss 261. 5 contracts here. And not the perfect reaction. Okay, it's going to get over 270. Kind of seems to be getting stuck there. Hit 270. It's been clear. There it pops. Now we're up 1R. I'm going to make sure that I'm really focusing here on exiting as P&L is increasing again. Come on. I don't like that. All right, guys, I have closed this trade. 271.50. I just didn't like how it kept bouncing back to 270. It's making me a little bit anxious. So again, I'll take my little win and I'll run. Again, Dave, I'm not quite sure how you missed that. This trade took a long time to set up. I even told you that I missed my entry and then got in again a second time. So not sure how that happens, right? There was a lot of time for this trade to come together. We got to get over ourselves and stop with this hesitation. It is bullshit, man. You are talking yourself out of too many trades and you are giving yourself too easy of an excuse over why you are not doing things. So I don't like that at all. So don't make it easy for yourself. Like, don't give yourself that easy excuse over why you didn't do something. Clicking submit is not difficult. Nice work, Vance. Well done on your risk management. Nice work, Leonard. Well done. Actually, fill price, guys, on my exit was 271. I think I said 270.50. It was 271. Nice work, team. Nice work. Again, guys, right? It's going to be very frank with this. You tell yourself that your psychology is your problem and you constantly make that your easy excuse. You're going to feel okay about missing trades because you're saying, oh, this is my problem. The point, right, of identifying what your problem is so that now you can make a behavioral change over missing that. So don't just give yourself that easy out. It's extremely lazy. You should not have missed that trade. That trade did not come together so quickly that it didn't give you an in. Yeah, Samuel, that's exactly it, right? Don't become addicted to your problems. Oh, I hate that excuse from you, Dave. I really do. There was no reason to have missed that trade, guys. It's set up so slowly. Even after my entry price, it retested. So you had 4 chances to get into that trade. So I really don't. There's nothing to say there besides you just got to fucking do it, right? That's it. Like, that is it. So don't give yourself that excuse or that easy out because your brain will take it every single time. No, Dave, stop with this fuck me shit. No. You're the one who's in control. Stop, right? Don't live in this negative feedback loop. You made the decision to not take the trade. Now don't blame yourself for making a mistake. Find an optimistic plan or difference on how you can behave differently the next time so that it doesn't happen again. Guys, we gotta choose our heart here at some point, right? It's hard to be broke and it's hard to be disciplined. Choose your hard. Which one do you prefer, right? It's hard to watch the market and fight your greed. It's hard to drive Uber 14 hours a day. Choose your hard. Like, yeah, guys, don't give yourself these excuses. They just become self-fulfilling prophecies. All right, it's actually turned into a pretty nice day, guys. Let's go, Eric. Nice work, man. Well done. Sorry, I'm just updating my journal here. Well done, Eric. Classic Entertainment. Excuse me. I have no clue. If you reach out to your, excuse me, if you reach out to your DTR advisor, they'd be able to help you and they'd be able to see. But I have no idea what your email is or any of this kind of stuff. So I unfortunately can't help. Nick, we're pretty much dollar for dollar here, man. Well done. I'm sitting at 1837 here per account. Yeah, again, classic entertainment, right? Reach out to your advisor. They'll give you an extension or whatever. Make sure you get your 5 days. Like I can't keep track of everyone's like YouTube username, email, first name, Discord username. So I have no clue. Good, Tyler. So you got something to work on, right? You know what you got to focus on. You know what you need to fix. That's really positive. You know, guys, it's been actually a pretty nice little bounce back. First 4 trades, pretty rough. Like just could not get the direction right. Since then, win, 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 win. So that's been positive. So 6-4 here on the day. Can't really complain about that. Considering how much chaos we had, you know, I knocked over my computer. I'm dealing with, you know, seasonal depression because of the snow. It's nice to be green. No, 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 no. Do I have the reason to keep trading? Book a call, Classic Entertainment. They'll help you out. There's a link in the description of this YouTube video. But you would have gotten one, right, sent to you when you signed up. I think I'm probably done for the day here. Working man's day a little bit. Ten trades, 6 wins, 4 losses. 6 wins on the trot, which is kind of nice. But all of them really baby wins, right? Just trusting gut feeling. A lot of wins that could have been losses. So did a very good job managing that here today. Kind of a 2-stream day, which is kind of bullshit. Sorry about that. Any questions here, team? Everyone feeling okay? Kind of coming up to a pressure-filled last 2 days here. For sure, to a certain extent. I have a chance for a perfect month, which is not something I normally try to keep track of, but it's my second one of the year, I think. So it's impossible for that to not be kind of on my head. Now, because it is, right, I have to remind myself that the reason why I'm green this month or why I've been trading well has been because I am obsessing, right, over my decision-making processes. So I'm obsessing over closing as P&L is increasing. I'm obsessing and not allowing fake outs to cost me money. I'm obsessing over not going down with the ship. And I'm obsessing over taking every trade that sets up. I'm not talking myself out of trades. I am being really deliberate in how I am executing and then being almost paranoid once I'm in them to make sure that I finish green. Like the worst thing that's going to happen if I take a loss is I take a loss, right? Like it's going to be less than $500 of quote unquote fake money, right? Your prop firm money is not real until it's in your bank account. So every perceived fear you have is not real. So we got to stop attaching our ego to these things. We got to stop attaching our ego to the outcome of the next trade, because it is crippling your ability to be objective and to actually execute the strategy. So a lot of self-sabotage here today, which I don't like. Completely avoidable self-sabotage here today, right, that I don't like. And that should be the thing to now study, right, reflect on, and improve. Not to say that today should have been a monster day for everyone, right? That's not what I'm implying. But it should not have been a dramatic red day or a day where we missed 3+ trades, right? Everything behaved how we expected. We had a good plan on how we were going to manage those trades once we were in them. And we just had to shut off the ego. That's the only way you would have made money here today, is if you shut off the ego effectively. And if you didn't do that here today, well, that's the thing to focus on, right? How can I improve that? Where did my ego flare up? Where did I make decisions that in hindsight I knew I shouldn't have been trading or should have done differently or whatever? And we got to get over this feeling that our every entry is like a guaranteed loss, because that is not the reality, right? We're effectively coin flipping here. Right? Every trade, the next outcome of my trade is either going to be a win or a loss. There's nothing else. So the only way that I'm going to be a winner long term is if I'm consistent in my behaviors, because that's how I win, right? The number one rule of systematic trading or rules-based trading is that you don't break your rules. So if your rule tells you that it's an entry, it's an entry. If your rules tell you that it's an exit, it's an exit. If your rules tell you it's 5 contracts, it's 5 contracts. There is no room for your emotions to take over control and to override your rules. If that's the point, right? If you're doing that, what's the point of having rules in the first place if you're not going to listen to them? So we got to get over ourselves here, guys. The worst thing that's going to happen is you'll fail your eval. Oh, no. It's not a big deal, right? So get over the psychological barriers you're putting on yourselves and actually make decisions that elevate your trading so that failing your eval becomes impossible. But it's when we start to pick and choose, when we start to make selective decisions, when we think we can override the system, that we end up just never catching the wins and only catching losses. It starts to get to the point where we feel as if the market is rigged against us. And the reason, right, why it starts to feel that way is because you take a loss to start the day, or you take a red decision, or whatever it is, and then you allow your ego to change your decisions because you didn't like the result of that first outcome. And so now you're looking for exceptions so you don't feel that same thing again. And so you end up compounding mistakes. So that first trade, right? The trade that sets you off, right? The trade that puts you in a position where the next trade you don't execute how you wanted. That's the trade to study. That's the one where you got to ask yourself, why did this one allow me to change my behaviors? What about this trade did I not like that then set me over the edge, where I was now unwilling to follow my rules? So breaking your structure, right? Breaking your rules, breaking whatever is a second order consequence of something that you did on a previous trade or a previous setup. It is not that one specifically, because everyone here who's talking about missing trades, right? They didn't miss the first one, right? They missed trade number 4 or trade number 5. Right? No one here is missing the first trade. So you're giving yourself some sort of permission, some sort of excuse, some sort of whatever after that trade that you don't like. The first trade, you don't like the outcome. That is then changing your behaviors for your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your 10th, your 100th trade. And that's creating a limiting belief that is causing you to then compound that stress. And when you miss a trade that runs in your favor or would have been green, right, it then creates an extra level of hesitation because now you think, oh, the next one's for sure going to be red because I took it. So you end up speaking it into existence. Like, guys, I've failed a bunch of evals. Pretty much every trader in here has failed a bunch of evals. I don't think I know a single one who's ever been 100% hit rate on them. Who cares? Right? It's not important. The important thing is how you behave, what your hit rate is on behaving how you said you were going to behave. And then it's just playing a numbers game. That's it. So too many of us are making a numbers game personal. It is preventing us from actually executing our strategy how we expect. And it's causing you to miss a lot of green trades. So it's not required, right? We don't need to complicate things more than they already are. And we got to stop thinking we're smarter than the market. Yeah, it's complete and total bullshit, Mike. It'd be complete and total bullshit. Because the risk reward of these evals is skewed in your direction as long as you follow the rules. That's it. But if you're picking and choosing, if you're, oh, this one's going to go against me. Oh, I'm undisciplined. Oh, poor me. And you embrace that victim mentality before you ever place a trade, you're going to be tortured regardless of what the outcome is, right? So can't embrace that. Can't give yourself that easy excuse. I'm like, guys, I guarantee, right? A losing trade is worse for me than it is for you. Not necessarily because of a P&L thing, but every time I have a losing day or a set of red trades or whatever it is, I have a lot more work to do those days, right? Not to be an asshole. I'm not trying to call anyone out. It's not my intention. But those are always the days, right, where I get more DMs, more calls get booked, more all these sort of things. So that's not a bad thing. I'm not complaining about that. But like that's the only thing that changes, right? So none of you guys are going to have to change your schedule or do X or do Y or do Z. You're not going to have to remortgage the house. You're not going to have to go to prison. You're not going to do any of these things, right? All that's happened is you have lost some fake money. Scary, right? So every feeling you get associated with that is purely psychological. There is no danger. There is no risk. The only risk you have is if you don't behave how you say you're going to behave. And if you fall in love with that risk, then you will keep losing money. You will keep blowing accounts. You will keep wasting your time. So it doesn't need to be scary like that because you have zero consequences. No one's going to kick you out here. No one's going to tell you you're a fucking idiot. No one's going to yell at you if you follow your rules. If you choose to get addicted to that self-sabotage and you get addicted to that little voice in your head and you need validation from your short-term feelings to accomplish your long-term objectives, you will not get there. So we gotta get off of that P&L roller coaster. We gotta stop validating our emotions based on the outcome of a singular decision. And we need to tighten up our variables. Why we say, guys, right? We're all in this together by ourselves. Everyone here wants you to win. Everyone here wants you to be as successful as you possibly can be. Mike making money or Tony making money or Kellen making money has no impact on your ability to make money, right? We're not competing against each other. We're competing against ourselves. So we have to fix our own demons, right? Our own little problems, the things that prevent us from accomplishing our own objectives. And those problems are unique to us, but they're not fundamentally unique problems, right? Nor are the solutions. So there's no magic words. There's no pill. There's no combo of things that I can do on the live stream that will fix those problems for you. You have to just want it yourself, and you have to be sick and tired of your own bullshit or that own noise in your head that you're like, you know what? I'm going to stop listening to this asshole because I have no evidence that he actually wants or she wants what's best for me. And the sooner that we can stop feeding him bullshit or feeding our internal dialogue bullshit by behaving how it wants us to behave, the sooner you will be liberated and the sooner that you will make the money that you're actually trying to make. But if you get in your own head, if you talk yourself out of things, if everything is a assessment of how good you are or what progress you are making, you are cheating yourself of learning that skill and unlocking that freedom. Again, guys, the money in your eval account is not real. It is fake. It is fugazi. So you are imposing every single emotional reaction to it. It is not different than paper trading. It is only different because of your personal expectations. And those are at direct conflict with your ability to be consistent with your emotional behavior and your ability to follow rules. You need to do some pretty serious self-reflection to figure out why that divergence exists and why you're so addicted to that self-sabotage. Because at this point, pretty much everyone here has seen how easy it is to bounce back from a red day as long as you don't get in your own way. Right? I don't know how many green days I've had in a row here. 25 maybe. And it's not like my win rate over those days has been 100%. I have made a lot of mistakes. I've had a lot of losing trades. I've done a lot of dumb things. But I've never, right, overridden my system. That's it. My system, when it's executed to the fullest of its potential, has that margin of error baked in. Right? It has that stupid loss at the start of the session baked in. It has a risk management mistake baked in. It has a position sizing mistake baked in. And so the only way that I can smooth out that noise is if I create enough data and a large enough sample so that that becomes a drop in the ocean. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a numbers game. Right? And if I follow my rules Hell, even 75% of the time, I'm sure I'll be profitable. If I follow them 100% of the time, like I strive for, man, I'm going to have whatever freedom I want outside of my 2 to 3 hours I trade a day. Why not just like eat shit and suffer to be able to do whatever the hell I want the rest of my life? It's a pretty good risk reward. That's asymmetric upside. So why wouldn't I want to do that? Why would I want to keep torturing myself when freedom feels better? When I can do it, I'm just choosing not to. Not worth it. The other reality here, right, which I think we all need to understand, is that I can tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, how many contracts to trade, what your stop loss is, the exact moment to click submit and exit on your trades. I can tell you all of those things and you still won't do it, right? So it isn't about shutting off your brain and being Michael. It's about learning how to control your emotions and not believing them. Because copying, no one here has the evidence that they can just show up, copy, do exactly what I'm doing, and make money. They can only do that when they learn how to control their impulses that make them want to break the rules and to skip steps. So the only way that you can actually learn to copy my strategy or learn my strategy, probably the better way of describing it, is to learn how to manage the voice in your head and to stop believing every thought it creates, because most thoughts are bullshit. And you have no evidence that consistently listening to that voice in your head is actually getting you further ahead. Right? All you have is evidence that it costs you money, it prevents you from accomplishing your objectives. And we'll always look for some sort of short-term validation to make ourselves feel good about not taking the risk. And the risk is one that isn't real, right? So it's this boogeyman in our heads, but it's not a boogeyman in reality. We got to stop. We got to stop being addicted to this routine of self-sabotage. Like I said, it is crushing you. It is destroying your ability to actually make money, and it is destroying your ability to play the numbers game as it is designed. This system does not work if we pick and choose. No system works if you pick and choose. So our rules exist so that we have binary events. And when we have those binary events, we don't override them. Right? And we create binary events so that it either happens or it doesn't. Right? It's a yes or no. Either it's inside my entry zone or it isn't. It's not, I'm not relying on does it feel like it's inside my entry zone. So it's just a set of yes, no decisions that are there to make my life easier. And if I ignore those yes, no decisions and I say no to a yes, then I am not making my life easier. I am making my life more difficult because I am just building up calluses to behaving how I expect I should behave. So losing itself is not a bad thing. Like having a losing trade is not a bad thing. We got to get over this. It's a fucking loss. It's one loss. I've taken 500 something trades this year, maybe more. But what's one loss in 500 trades? Doesn't matter. Right? Who cares? It's insignificant. So why am I putting so much energy into that as being the death of hope when I have zero evidence to indicate that it is? I don't know. Don't you eventually get sick and tired of just repeating your mistakes, of being addicted to that process? Isn't it fucking miserable? Like, why wouldn't you want to change? Why are we so stubborn in committing, right, to a path that isn't getting us where we want to be? It just makes us feel good for 30 seconds. And then when the trade goes in our favor, it makes us feel like shit. Why would we want that? I simply don't understand. So, like I said, guys, I have no magic words. Everyone has to make that decision for themselves. I can only encourage you to make it. I can't tell you to. I can't David Goggins you into being a disciplined trader. You have to make that decision yourself. And until you do, you will continue to suffer. Hate to break it to you in that way, but that is the reality. Any questions, team? Good man, Joe. The most important variable, right? We talk about control the variables you can control. The most important one, right? Or what does that mean? What's the most important one? The most important variable you can control is an overarching one, right? It's, can I behave the way that I say I'm going to behave? No expectations, Dom, right? I don't know. I'm not really a macro trader. I don't really have a view. I reckon they probably don't cut rates this month. They do it in December, maybe again. That would be my guess. Primary reason would be because of the government shutdown. So a lack of data basically has been released. My guess. Yeah, everyone here today has a choice, right? They got choice to continue to be the self-sabotaging asshole that is making them feel good, but pushing them further and further away from their dreams. Or you have the choice to roll up your sleeves, ignore the little voice in your head, and to get to work. And your job then, right, is to create enough evidence so that you can actually rely on that little voice in your head. Right? Your job as a trader isn't to place trades, it's to collect data. Data about the market, data about yourself, data about your strategy. And then when you're trading, you're just collecting data. So if we're not going to embrace that mindset, fine. You're going to be a loser your entire trading career. And I don't think anyone wants that. I certainly don't want that for anyone here. So at some point, we have to get over ourselves. And we have to stop looking for validation from our short-term feelings because they are not telling you the truth. And honestly, guys, it is not hard. Really isn't. The idea of it is scarier than actually doing it. So I don't think I can neg you into doing it. I don't think I can yell at you into doing it. I don't think I can whisper sweet nothings into your ear into doing it. You have to make that decision for yourself. No one else can do that for you. And honestly, even if I could do it for you, I would not want to cheat you of that experience, right? Teach you of learning how to believe in yourself. That wouldn't be worth it. At some point, we have to make that commitment that I'm not going to be average. I'm going to be exceptional. And the simplest way to become exceptional is not to be the smartest person in the room, not to be the most educated, not to be any of those things. It's to be the person who behaves how they say they're going to behave and who is able to tune out the noise when things get rocky. Right? It's persistence. Persistence with good habits that ultimately makes you profitable. Persistence with bad habits crushes you. Most of you have that persistence already. You're just applying it to the wrong side of the equation. You're applying it to the I want to feel good side, not to the I want to be good side. So choose your hard, right? Not living up to your potential is worse than failing trying to reach it. Again, guys, choose your hard, right? All right, final call here. Final call. And again, guys, right? The vast majority, just final thing, right? The vast majority of traders don't fail because they have a bad strategy, right? They don't fail because they see the market wrong. They fail because they allow their psychology to create patterns of self-sabotage. That's it. So the strategy, right? All these things are just noise that are supposed to make it easier for us to control our behaviors and to create patterns so that we know where our behaviors break and we can fix those problems. That's all it is. So stop being the self-sabotaging asshole. Don't be afraid to make a mistake because a mistake is how you learn and improve and get better. And stop being paralyzed by a fake number on the screen. It means absolutely nothing. Oh, why are we attaching our P&L or our ego to our P&L when our P&L is literally meaningless? Oh, get over yourselves, guys. It's honestly, it's a waste of time and energy. Trading is far too stressful for us to live and die with each result. Again, guys, choose your heart. Everyone's got fucking problems. Right? Yours aren't bigger or worse than anyone else's. So get over it and create enough evidence that it would be stupid to doubt yourself. Right now, you already have that evidence. You're just choosing to ignore it. So, your choice. All right, guys. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.